there's really a really fascinating and interesting mother-daughter relationship there. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. That relationship is one of my favorite parts of the whole story. One of my favorite uh, narrations, voiceover narrations, is when she's watching her mom in 103, and kind of says, I'd always thought of my mother like a nervous chicken, and then by the end of that long monologue, she goes, I saw a woman, and the woman was beautiful, and that's just. I feel like so many young women can relate to that, because we all have these. I feel like any young woman or woman in general just has that dynamic between mother and daughter is it's complicated, it's beautiful, it's challenging, and you see all of those layers. This is a woman that absolutely loves her children and loves her daughter, but also understands that. I mean, the way that Faith and I always talked about it was. Elsa is a version of Margaret, and it's something Margaret was and could no longer be at that time. And she understands that her daughter is going to have to give that up as well when her daughter becomes a mother, or a wife and a mother. There is no freedom for a woman necessarily like that at that time, and it's something that Margaret wants to protect her daughter from. And that's easier said than done, let's just say, because I think Elsa's a force to be reckoned with, and she kind of refuses to be boxed into a corner. And so you're just seeing that kind of pulling back and forth, and it's all out of love, but it can be really, not just difficult to kind of stomach. And neither of them are perfect. They're both really complicated people, and they contradict themselves all the time, and that's kind of what it is to be a human. So I just love it. And I love the fact that, a lot of young women sex wasn't explained to them at that time. So, in the first episode, when she sees a man and woman, having sex, and then her parents making noises, through the wall, she's like, what is this thing that no one will talk to me about, that everyone seems to be enjoying but me? And then, and then she does it herself, and she thinks it's a beautiful experience. And her mom says, okay, it was beautiful, fine, but there are consequences, and you have to deal with those consequences. And
right.
consequences, what are those?